Hi, Steve Mills here. Thank you ever so much for listening to this video. It's great to be here sharing some ideas that I believe will help you, particularly if you're doing paid advertising right now. There are loads of mediums for this, whether it's the search engine related on anything from Bing to obviously Google and so on and so forth, or it's the social media side on Facebook, LinkedIn, and so on and so forth. So I'm going to try and cover both sides of it if I can, just giving you some tips and ways in which you can improve the effectiveness of what you're already doing. Firstly, let me just tell you a little bit about me, because maybe the first time I've ever spoken to you, rather. My name is Steve Mills. I've spent 25 years working as a marketing consultant stroke coach, advising and helping businesses to make more money from their marketing. And my fascination with that and my background comes from being a former international sportsman. And when you play sport, no matter what the sport, at any high level like that, you become almost ingrained in your brain. How can I get more? How can I do better? How can I, create the difference between nearly winning and actually winning? And often, the difference is only a very, very small amount. I remember a few years ago listening to a commentator that said that Usain Bolt, when he got his gold medals and broke the records in the 100 meters, did it in something, and I'm making these figures up, like 9.86 seconds. And the guy that was like, I don't know, a tenth of a second slower got to remember that he was at the Olympics because he finished fourth. He was only like a very minuscule amount behind him in terms of time. Usain Bolt became world famous. He got the gold medal. He got the adulation. He got the Nike contract. He became famous, and yet the guy who finished fourth, a split second behind him, got nothing other than the memory that he finished fourth in the Olympics, but certainly didn't get anywhere near the rewards. And so it is in marketing. That the difference between getting found on the first page on Google, getting the inquiry, and turning that into the 50,000 or 50 million pound order is only very slight. It's that little difference. So that said, let me talk to you about paid advertising on Google. So firstly, you've almost like got three sections to it. You've got, right, who's seeing your ad, what are they seeing on that ad, and importantly, what are they seeing when they've clicked on the ad. So there's three separate elements to the success of it. So if you're showing your advert to the wrong people, or the wrong type of people who've not got the money, they've not got the interest, they've not got buying authority and so on, you're not going to do too well. You've got to make sure that the targeting's right. So my number one piece of advice is to review that. Review who is seeing your advert. So on social media, that's about saying, to Facebook or LinkedIn or whoever, show this advert to these people, making sure that these people, whoever they are the right people to see your advert, or let's just say the best people. So you might have tried solicitors, and that's sort of not quite worked as well as you like, but you also work for accountants and surveyors, because you work for professional service companies. So it might be worth doing a split test and looking at the three different markets that you serve in order to get the best result. So you get my meaning here. If you're doing it on search engine pay-per-click, it might be a matter of testing different keywords. People who type in, free marketing advice might not be the type of people I want to attract, because I want people who want, maybe to pay me for my 25 years expertise, so depends on the keywords I'm using. So that's number one. Number two then is, the job of that advert is not to sell whatever it is you sell. The job of the advert is to get the click. That's all I want to do. I want to get them to click, to go through. But I only want, again, the right people to go through. So I want to get them to click. So what does that mean? That means you've only got a little bit of text or a very short video. Yeah, or a picture with a bit of text on some of the platforms, but you've not got a lot. And so the headline, there's an old saying in advertising that the headline is the advert for the advert. It's the most important part of the whole advert is the headline. So my advice would be test different headlines. Try different headlines, see if you can improve the conversion rate of that headline. Because if you can, and you do, that could make a big difference to you. So try improving the headline. So I love headlines like how to do something. I love headlines like, if you want to do such and such, then what you need to do is this. Yeah, so they're really descriptive. They're very, very, what's the word I'm looking for? Very, I suppose, easy to understand. If you want to be a millionaire, then what you need to do is to attend this seminar of Steve's. Yeah, you understand where I'm coming from here, and. So that's what one element. The other element is to create a little bit of mystique, a little bit of, what's this? I'm not sure what this is about. If I had a headline, for example, the 5 biggest mistakes that people make in paid advertising. If you were doing paid advertising, would you want to know what those mistakes were? Or the 5 secrets to paid advertising effectively. 5 secrets to improve your paid advertising on Google. What about that for a headline that's presented to people who are actually advertising on Google? That, might get a click. So those 2 things are really important. However, my belief is really the most important thing is once they've clicked, they've gone to your website, it's the landing page. And it's the most important because you've paid for people to go there. You've paid whatever it is, £1 a click. You've just paid for 1,000 people to go to this website, and it's cost you £1,000, and nobody's buying. What's wrong? They were interested, but they've just not bought, or they've at least not bought in the numbers that you would have liked them to have bought. And so what you need to do is to work out what you need to do with this page in order to improve the performance of the page. Does that make sense? I'm hallucinating that you're saying it does, because it absolutely does. So the question is, how do you do that then, Steve? And the answer is, obviously it varies per page, but here's some things to think about. I've already mentioned the headline. The headline is the advert for the advert. It's also the headline is the advert for the web page or for the landing page. When they've paid their £1, they've come to, or you've paid their £1, they've come to your website, they land on your landing page, and the first thing you're going to read is a headline. So they're going to go, oh no, that's not what I want. Disappear off. So test the headline. Try different headlines. See if you can get a headline that improves it. What about video? You say, well, isn't a video? Well, if there was a video, would that improve the conversion rate? Perhaps the video on there is a bit naff. Perhaps it's too long. Perhaps it's too short. Perhaps you're not coming across as enthusiastic as you could because it's a brilliant product. Or perhaps you're not, talking in a different way that could really get people, in a sincerely, way that really gets people thinking and trusting, getting people to know, like, and trust you. That's what marketing's all about, I believe. What about the words then underneath that? Or just taking a step back to a video. What about a client video? So a testimonial or a series of testimonial videos, that might improve the conversion rate. Or what about written testimonials? Or what about improving the words on the site? What about the pictures? Could you improve the pictures on the site? What about the call to action, the CTA? A lot of people, have a page on their website and they scroll down, and somewhere down at the bottom is the call to action, and that's the least looked at bit. The most looked at bit is the bit at the top. It might be that straight away I just want to buy it. Don't make me search for where I can, get to find out how much it is and I can give you some money. So it might be that you have a call to action near the top and then one in the middle and then one at the bottom. You see a lot of web pages from real top marketing guys who do this all the time. Have an opportunity to buy here, here and here down the bottom. So there you go. So that's about it for the time being. What I would really strongly encourage you to do, if you like what I'm saying and you think, do you know what, this guy seems to know what he's talking about, he's not full of bullshit, and he's a straight talking guy, and I'd like to maybe talk to him about either working with him or maybe ask him a couple of questions so he can perhaps help me, then what I suggest you do is one of two things. Number one is you book a one-to-one meeting with me. Very happy to do that. No obligation, no hard sell. I'll try and help you with your marketing, generally do. I always believe in, if I can demonstrate my expertise to you, you just want to buy more. So if I can offer you a free meeting, free 45 minutes, and at the end of it, if you think, wow, he's really helped me with my business, you're going to want more. And if I haven't, I don't deserve your business. That's the way I look at it. So that's one option. Another option, if you don't want to do that, then why don't you just book one of my webinars? I run them every day. Again, they're free to attend. You just sign up and you can attend the webinar. I run them a couple of times a day, and you'd be very welcome to attend that. If you want to do either of those two things, then what I recommend you do is you go to steve-mills.co, steve-mills.co, and get yourself signed up, and I look forward to speaking to you again soon. Thank you very much for listening.